Hello friends, in the last few videos we have covered GDP, GNP, NDP and NNP in detail. In today's video there will be a competition between GDP, GNP, NDP and NNP in which the winner will be the one who will give us the most accurate value of national income. Let's start with GDP. The monetary value of all the goods and services produced within the geographical boundary of any country is called GDP. That means GDP reflects the internal strength of any economy. This means that whether a country is creating more jobs or not, we can find out by looking at its GDP growth. Let's talk about the next measure, which is GNP. That means Gross National Product. We get gross national product by adding the monetary value of all those goods and services that the residents of a country have produced, not only in India but in the whole world. That is, there is no restriction of the geographical boundary of the country. Residents of our country are living in India or outside India, whatever goods and services they produce, we get GNP by adding the monetary value of all those goods and services. So it means that GNP reflects both internal and external strengths of any economy, and by looking at its value, we can tell that our country is more dependent on foreign countries or foreign countries are more dependent on our country. Let's talk about the next measure, which is NDP, that is Net Domestic Product. We get net domestic product after deducting depreciation from GDP, and depreciation can be reduced only when the research and development has improved. So it means that by looking at the value of NDP, we can estimate that over the period of time, the efficiency of our economy is increasing or decreasing. Next measure is NNP, that is Net National Product. We get the value of Net National Product after subtracting depreciation from GNP. That is, the residents of our country, whether living in India or outside India, all those goods and services that have been produced after adding the value of all those. If we remove the value of depreciation from it, then the value that will come in front of us will be NNP, that is Net National Product. And because in this value we are only talking about the production of goods and services of the residents of our country, and we are also removing depreciation from it, that is why we can say that this is the purest form of national income of our country. That is why NNP at factor cost has been given the title of national income. And that is why it is represented by capitalized letter NI. Even though GDP, GNP and NDP are also ways to measure national income, in spite of this, if we have to call any one of these as national income, then it will be NNP. NNP at factor cost. And that is why whenever we talk about calculating per capita income, we can calculate per capita income by dividing the value of NNP by the total population of our country. If we divide NNP at factor cost by total population, then the value we get is called nominal per capita income. And if we remove inflation till the base year from this value, we get real per capita income. And real per capita income is considered the appropriate way to measure economic growth. So we have seen that the winner of the first competition is NNP, who has got the title of national income. Now there will be another competition in which we will see which of these measures can be used to compare the economic growth of different countries. An important rule of this competition is that those measures cannot be considered here in whose calculation depreciation has been considered, because the rate of depreciation is decided by the government of each country, and it can be different in different countries. That is why if we want a common measure by which the economic growth of all the countries of the world can be compared, so those measures will not be considered in whose calculation depreciation is being used. And here there are two such measures, NNP and NDP. So NNP and NDP are excluded from this competition. So now the competition will be only between GNP and GDP. And the winner of this competition is GDP. But it is very important to know that why GNP cannot be used for the comparison of economic growth of different countries. There are three main reasons for this. The first reason is related to dual citizenship. There are many countries where there is dual citizenship. Suppose this person is a citizen of two countries. So, in our case, if this person is a citizen of both country X and country Y and is working in country Z where he has produced some goods and services of worth rupees 100, then both these countries, that is country X and country Y, both will consider this 100 rupees in their GNP. So it means that in the case of dual citizenship, the problem of double counting comes in GNP. The second issue with GNP is that we get GNP after adding GDP to NFIAD, that is net factor income from abroad, which is dependent on foreign exchange rate, and foreign exchange rates keep fluctuating continuously. And that is why we can say that the value of GNP also keeps fluctuating continuously. In such a situation, it becomes very difficult to compare the economic growth of different countries. Let us now look at the third reason for not using GNP in comparison of economic growth of different countries. See, GDP is directly proportional to number of jobs in economy. If GDP is down, then unemployment will also be very high in our country. But despite this, if net factor income from abroad starts increasing so fast that growth is seen in GNP as well, so in this scenario, can we say that our economy is growing? Not at all. So we can say that even though our economy is not actually growing, rather it is shrinking. Despite that, our GNP is giving us the picture of growth. So it means that GNP can sometimes give misleading figures related to economic growth. So these are some of the reasons why GDP is used to measure the economic growth of different countries instead of GNP. To cover Indian economy in detail, follow Bookstava playlist. Thank you so much for watching Bookstava.